So, hi everyone. Today we have a special guest on our channel. We have Nitesh with us. So, Nitesh, would you like to introduce yourself once?
Yeah, thank you, Ashish, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Nitesh Kumar. I have joined SAP as an SG1. I have an 1.5 year of experience as a full stack developer. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Hmm. Right. So, basically, he has cracked SAP recently, that too off campus. So, we'll be getting to know his journey, how he applied, his interview experience, his preparation, and everything in between. So, Nitesh, would you like to start us off with your interview experience? How did you apply? What all rounds were there, and what all happened?
So everyone will thinking like I would have applied to SAP and they would have reached out to me and all like. So what had happened was like I never applied to SAP. Uh, One recruiter reached out to me from LinkedIn, and it was kind of a surprise to me like how can someone reach out to me and then we discussed on a call like how will be the interviews and all. Then the thing was it was an on-site role, and they wanted me to come to Bangalore office. So yeah, so basically like he discussed about like what is the role about, what you will be doing and all. So after that he gave me an OA link. So yeah, that's how it was.
Right. So, what all happened in the rounds that followed? Like, what all happened in OA and the technical interviews?
So in the online assessment, there were like two questions. Both were, I would say, lead code medium. The first question was on arrays and strings. The second question was on like array and string as well, but it was on like a harder level, I would say. Anyone would have like a decent knowledge of DSA can easily solve both of them in like uh, 40 minutes or so. Yeah.
Right. And after OA, like, how many technical interviews were there?
So after OA, there were three technical, two main technical, and one was hiring manager plus technical. Yeah,
All right. So, total there were four rounds, one OA and then three technical interviews, right?
yeah. If we consider HR also, then one more round. Like,
Okay. So, basically five rounds, including HR, right?
yeah.
All right. So, can you tell us a bit about the technical interviews? Like, what were they like? What kind of questions do they generally ask in those?
Okay. So the first technical round. So first he like gone through my resume, like, and asked like all the things what I've mentioned there about like about databases, about my past experiences. Uh, and then he went on like asking me about basic things like basic CS fundamentals. So this included about like databases queries, how SQL and like how databases work internally. And then he went on asking me about Git basics, like how we work in a collaborative environment. What is Git? How will you resolve conflicts and all? And then he gave me one DSA medium question. So and then we wrapped it up with other CS fundamental questions, like it was on networking. And he also asked me about I remember RESTful APIs. So he was more of a keen to ask me like what is RESTful APIs and what all things we need to follow to make an API RESTful. And then he asked me about different uh, HTTP methods we have, and some of the JavaScript concepts like what are closures, what is let const and where. So all the like general CS questions and JavaScript basics were in the first round. Yeah. So if I come up to the second round, so it was similar to the first round, but in the second round he was more on my development skills, and he again started with the JavaScript basics, and he went on to like internals, like what is the JavaScript architecture, how event loops work, what is call stack, what is micro task queue. So basically everything works internally, and yeah. Then he asked me about basic questions on let const and where, and what is asynchronous code in JavaScript, how it works, what are timers. So it was more of a like grilling me on the development side. Uh, then he went on asking me about some syntactical questions. So I was not like ready about it. Like if someone is asking about syntax, so basically like we don't remember everything, right? Like then he asked me like how you write import statements. So I was like, took some time. Then I recalled and like okay. Then I finally wrote it. So I was like okay. Uh, yeah. So then he also gave me one medium lead code question. The medium lead code question, I would say like it was easy for me. Like I have done similar questions before, but I took time. Like I asked him clarifying questions, and I also asked him what are the constraints. Like there was a time like I don't know how, but I got to like ask him a question like what we're dealing with, a memory constraint or a like time, what we need to optimize. Because that question was like a two-way thing. Like if I go for memory, I have to apply a different algorithm. If I go for a space like time, then a different one. So he gave me like go with the time one. So I went with the time one, and like it was I was able to do it like in 5 6 minutes. Yeah, after that, yeah, yeah. So this was second round, and then the third round came up. So in between, like what happened was like after the second round, they were like saying, "Ki, you want to take a coffee or something, or you want to go for the hiring manager round." So it was on-site, right? So I was like, okay. So I thought ki better to go for the third round. I won't be like waiting for the coffee thing. Like
Hmm.
to get this pressure off of me. So
Yeah, एक बार खत्म हो जाए.
yeah, खत्म हो जाए खत्म भाई.
Before we go for the rest of the video, let me tell you I have some amazing news for you. Getting referrals have never been easier. All you need to do is go to the link in the description, click on it, and it will redirect you to TopMate's page where you can go to the referral section, enter your information, and you'll be able to get a referral for any company that you want. So, whether you want a referral for Google, whether you want a referral for Microsoft, Amazon, any of the top product based companies, whichever job role you want, you'll be able to get a referral easily. So go to the link in the description and you'll be able to connect with many, many people who will be able to refer you for any role that you want completely free of cost. So what are you waiting for? Go to the link in the description, start applying to your dream company and crack your dream company right now. And now let's get back to the video.
Then
Uh,
so I went for the hiring manager round. So good thing about hiring manager round was like he was from UP. Like he was from
oh,
so I was having a personal touch. Okay, so we can.
yeah.
What happened was like I was switching in Hindi and some like
Hmm,
about my place, about his place. So we got off track for some time. Like
hmm,
I think it was a good thing to like have a something common. Like it makes a very good vibe for the interviewer, and like it
hmm,
makes you
correct.
comfortable basically. Uh,
Right.
yeah, then he went on asking me some technical questions, and the thing like you should always remember like when you write something in resume, it should be like accurate and like not so like if you increase the metrics like how much you worked and improved some performance 5% 10%, it should be thoroughly examined how you got to that numbers because
Hmm,
ask you how you can say 30% increase, how you can say 20% or something improvement in anything.
hmm.
So never fake it out. But thank God I
Yeah,
never
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So I was on a good page and like yeah. Then he came to ask me about why you're leaving your previous company and then
Hmm,
why you want to join SAP. So being a manager, like he also asked me like what you know about SAP. So the good thing, like I researched about SAP previously. So I
hmm,
went on their website, like they have an about page. So he said, "Ki, no, 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 I don't want you to spit that out for me. Something like other thing you know about SAP." Then I went on, okay. So basically, they were trying to ask what you know, like where in which fields SAP work. So I
hmm.
was knowing that, and then yeah, so it ended up well. Like yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was like knowing like I would be selected, but I was like, let's wait for the time. It will come.
Uh,
Yeah. So this was all like
nice.
for technical rounds.
Uh, nice, man. Nice. So, the HR, was it more of a formality or was it also like a proper round?
So in HR round, he was asking me like my prior experience. So I have 1.5 year of as a full stack developer in a startup. So he was asking me like what you learned from there, like apart from your day-to-day work, what you extra learned, like soft skills, behavioral skills. So he was asking about those. And the thing was, I haven't prepared for HR round, but I was knowing things, so it was like it went well for me. And then he was like, "What is your expectation?" And then some salary negotiation was going on there. He, how much you expect and all. Like he was explaining about SAP, like a best place to work. Like it's a very good place to work. So yeah, some it was this much.
Nice, 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 man. So I think it must be pretty hectic, right? Pretty much they focused on मतलब everything. DSA भी पूछा, system design भी पूछा. I mean, not system design, but JavaScript के ऊपर fundamental, CS fundamental. So pretty much a lot of things was there in the interview, right? Not just DSA,
Yeah.
which we generally see in most PBC, right?
Whatever you write, they will
Right.
go through that, and
Ha
they will
ha
ask you
ha.
something from there. Yeah.
Hmm. Right, right. So, because they ask so many things, obviously one should be very well prepared. So, 100% we can say you had good preparation, that you were able to, go through all of the rounds easily. So, let's talk more about your preparation journey. What basically did you do for preparation of this? What did you do for DSA? What did you do for CS Fundamental? Did you use any specific resources? How was the preparation journey like?
Okay. So when I was in MCA, like in the first year, so I have very good seniors. So they guided me to like learn DSA. So we'll go through the basic data structures first, and then go on like full DSA on lead code and all. So initially, I went through Abdul Bari's playlist, like about data structures, how how it works, and yeah, and I was like active on lead code. So in starting, I was doing easy questions on lead code. And best thing I did was like I was always giving lead code contests every every time. So I around 104 or something like contests I have done on lead code.
Damn.
So that I was doing like always. And meanwhile, what I had, like I have like 4 or 5 friends. So there was a platform at that time, like it's not available now. Its name was binarysearch.com. So I
Yes, yes, I remember.
maybe yeah. So it was more of a gamified thing. Like it was like a game. You can host a contest with your friends, and in the real time, you can see their updates, like who has finished which question and how many they have done attempts. So it was a very good thing, and like we were doing daily, like in the evening from the college, we were doing the same thing every time, random 5 questions, putting on the like contest. We were doing it, so it was a very good thing. And after those, we were like discussing on the questions, like what went wrong, how you did, what can we improve. So this way, I was like learning DSM, and we used to give mock interviews as well. Sometimes, like because placements were coming, like it was the first year, then in the second year, the same thing happened. In the third, like we have a 3 year of MCA that time. Now it is like reduced years. So in the third year, we were like giving mock interviews, and to our friends, and it helps us a lot, like to solve our doubts and like how to approach a problem, because during interviews is like so much, there is so much pressure on you, like you have to think about it, like, be calm and composed, and people say like keep a smile on your face. So we were practicing all of that at once. Um and because when you are given a question, so there is a some steps we should follow always. Like first read the question twice or thrice, and like fully understand what the question is asking, because if you miss something, you will end up at the wrong direction. And thing like when you see constraints, so please see the constraints thoroughly, because it can be a like it can be a hint for you, because if constraints, oh, it can be a recursion problem, a backtracking problem, or can be a DP can be applied there. So something, it will give you a hint. So do check constraints and then go for the clarifying doubts, any question to the interviewer, and then approach the problem. These things we were practicing, and yeah, this was all my DSS journey.
Hmm. राइट राइट आई थिंक एक दोस्तों के साथ प्रिपेयर करना हेल्प्स यू वे मोर राइट एक कॉम्पिटिटिव एज भी मिल जाता है when you prepare with friends, you know, you give contest against each other, so it definitely gives you some edge when you prepare with friends, you know, especially if you have a group who has the same goal of improving in problem solving, right?
Yeah, bilkul, bilkul. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. Yeah, and it was like a game for us. So it was like a very fun for us. Like yeah, competing together and learning as well at the same time.
Hmm. Exactly, exactly. So like apart from DSA, what about other things जैसे development हो गया या CS fundamental हो गया, उसके लिए did you follow some resources या फिर how did
For
you
CS
manage that?
fundamentals, we were like taught in the school, college as well, like from starting. So apart from that, we made notes. And for quick revision, that time I used a Love Bubber sheet. It was there. Yeah, followed that one. And for DP playlist and graphs and trees. So for revision purposes, we went for Striver's sheet and playlist he has on the YouTube. Yeah. And apart from that, if you want to write some code and you don't have an IDE, so we went for a CodeChef IDE. So CodeChef has a very good IDE. So yeah, these things. And I was making notes as well, like for some good questions on CS fundamentals. So those helped me. Yeah.
Right, right. And about development, like what kind of projects did you do and what tech stack did you use basically?
That time MERN was very famous, and like I was knowing JavaScript and web development was there as well. So I made some projects. Especially I was like very fond of making video calling at that time. So I went with WebRTC and like Node.js I used in the backend. Yeah. So this one I made a video calling app I made that time. And apart from this, we have like a annual function at our college. So for that I made a dynamic leaderboard. So it was more of like several teams, and they were like they were scoring. So we were real time updating their scores, and it was going up and down, just like we have in stock prices as well. So up down up down. So it was a real time thing. So yeah. So that time I learned a concept known as long polling. So someone asked me in the interview, how can you improve it? So I was like, okay, we can use WebSockets as well. So that time I was not doing WebSockets. Then I got to know, okay, we can use WebSockets. So yeah.
Hmm. Nice, 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 man. And I think doing a project like that, you know, which sort of has a real life impact, you know, that you can relate to a real life thing or a real world thing, definitely gives you a better edge than making a normal like project that is not being used anywhere, right?
Yeah,
That's why
so
it's
it
always
felt very
suggested.
good. Like I made
Uh,
in 2 days that leaderboard I made in 2 days, and it was working. So people were using it. So it was a very good feeling for me.
hmm.
And I have mentioned these things in
uh,
every interview whenever I got a time. Like what you like, how things went in your college and all. So I mentioned this always. Yeah.
hmm. Right, right, right. All right. So, you know, on a final note, to all of the people who are watching this video who also want to crack a company like SAP, you know, a dream company, what advice would you like to give to them?
The thing is like software engineering is a like very vast field, and you can't learn everything at once. So give yourself some time and learn the things. Like go with the like coding, DSA, fundamentals. But keep in mind like sometimes time is not right. Sometimes it won't click. Sometimes you will like reach to a hurdle. You will get stuck like a lot of times, and it's disheartening for everyone. Like it's very like depressing sometimes. Like I'm not able to do it. Like I will feel like I have imposter syndrome and all. So it's a part of like software engineering. So just push yourself and just keep hope. You will reach there. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Right, right. That's some amazing advice right there. Basically, you should be consistent, right? Despite of whatever hurdles of failure might come your way. If you're consistent, then eventually you will reach where you want, right?
Yeah. Because in DSA, you never feel like you're fully prepared. Even whoever like cracked Google, he will say that I'm not fully prepared. So it's the same thing for everyone. Same feeling for everyone. It's nothing like we are something different from you guys. We are the same thing, feeling the same thing every day. Every day.
Correct, correct. All right. I guess that covers pretty much everything about Nitesh's journey to SAP and cracking a company like SAP. So thanks a lot, Nitesh, for coming on my channel, sharing your journey and your strategies with me and my subscribers. I hope it'll help a lot of students. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ahish.